These were the first and last matches of the football players. On March 4th, 1998, the world saw the birth of the greatest wizard of all time. Ronaldinho's debut happened in a game between two Brazilian teams in the group stage of the Libertadores, Grêmio and Vasco. Ronaldinho was only 17 when he made his debut, and already as a starter.
Grande habilidade, já mostrou também que tem velocidade, mas é imaturo.
Grêmio had to start with a win since Vasco would be their main competitor in the group. He almost scored a fantastic goal from a free kick.
Ronaldo, pé direito nela. Apenas tiro de meta para Carlos Germano.
And his first assist in an official match came from a corner kick.
Toque de cabeça. Gol do Grêmio, Guilherme!
And to tell you the truth, the team's coach already knew that the superstar would be a standout player, so he made him the free kick taker, even though he was very young. And he almost scored from set pieces in several plays. He also showed that he would be a dribbler, as he attempted some dribbles in the match, even though still a bit shy. In the end, the match ended 1-0 for Grêmio, with Ronaldinho being elected the best player for the assist and the various goal-scoring opportunities created. But what we really want to know is about the Brazilian star's first goal, and it came a few days later in another Libertadores match, but this time against a team called Guadalajara. That would be the first of many. Ronaldinho didn't stay long in Brazilian football and soon transferred to Paris Saint-Germain, which was not yet the giant of world football that it is today. His magical stint in France was enough to catch the attention of other European clubs. After PSG, he became Barcelona's second option for midfield, and after Beckham chose to go to Real Madrid, Barca went after the Brazilian. And in the end, it was the best decision in the club's history. He became the best in the world there and turned into the most magical player the world has ever seen. After the Brazilian put Barcelona back on top, Guardiola took over the team and decided to sell him to Milan, but this was no longer the same Ronaldinho as before. In the end, the superstar ended up returning to Brazil, where he even won a Libertadores with Atlético Mineiro, and it was exactly here that the superstar ended his career. The last club the superstar wore the jersey for was Fluminense in 2016. His time with this team was quite short, and he didn't even play in 10 matches with the Fluminense jersey. His last match was, well, forgettable. Ronaldinho wasn't in the best physical shape, and he even tried a few plays, but without success. At most, he attempted a few passes in the midfield. The goal of the match wasn't scored by him, but by the forward Fred. Actually, his last goal didn't even happen in Brazil. Officially, the last one was scored by Querétaro, a Mexican team, and guess what? It was a screamer. A free kick from almost midfield, and the superstar placed the ball over the goalkeeper, who tried to catch it, but couldn't. There's no denying it, until the last moment, he was magical. But not as much as another Brazilian who made history in world football, Ronaldo Fenomeno. And believe me, the nickname phenomenon isn't just for show. From the start, Ronaldo was always an incredible striker, so much so that he debuted at just 16 years old. Unfortunately, there are no records of his first goal, which was against Belenenses from Portugal. The match was a friendly and wasn't broadcasted on any TV. But don't be sad. Ronaldo scored many goals after that. The first one with recorded video evidence is this beauty right here. Remember, the superstar was only 16 years old, but the match that everyone remembers as the striker's first great performance was in a Libertadores match against Nacional. The superstar went after the defenders the entire game and managed to score this stunner after a beautiful play. He even scored another goal in the second half, but that one shouldn't have been counted since he was offside. And after that, the superstar's career became legendary. He won the World Cup at 17, became the best in the world at 20, and the only thing that managed to stop this incredible striker were the injuries. Unfortunately, the superstar suffered serious knee injuries that prevented him from becoming the greatest of all time, maybe matching Pelé. Speaking of which, the end of his career came exactly after his second serious knee injury, when European football kind of gave up on the superstar. So he returned to Brazil to recover and ended up wearing the Corinthians jersey, a club where he became an idol and a die-hard fan. He scored some historic goals like this one in a championship final. But his last goal was a penalty. However, that wasn't the player's last match. The Brazilian national team made sure to organize a farewell match for the superstar, where he played alongside Neymar. He didn't start playing since it was an official match, and Ronaldo wasn't physically prepared. But the real party only started when the player came off the bench. He tried, but the extra weight hindered the superstar from scoring a goal in the last match, and the defense didn't go easy on the superstar either. Man, not even Romania let the phenomenon score a goal, right? But like, Ronaldo had a chance to score and ended up missing. What can you do, right? Now, someone who didn't disappoint in his debut and farewell was Diego Armando Maradona, one of the greatest football legends. He began his career at Argentino Juniors in Argentina, and one of the first goals recorded on video was this one. The superstar made history in Argentina, winning the World Cup twice, and of course also made history in clubs. After this first goal, the superstar began to attract attention in Argentine football and was signed by Boca Juniors, which was a powerhouse of world football at the time. He also had stints in Europe with teams like Barcelona and Napoli, where he became the greatest legend of the club. In fact, the club's stadium is named after Diego Armando Maradona. But of course, after a career filled with championships and controversies, the superstar would return to his homeland to play for the club he fell in love with, Boca Juniors. And his last goal was also a penalty, just like Ronaldo's. After a cross from Palermo into the box, Maradona himself was fouled and won the penalty that became his last official goal.
Ahí está Maradona con gol, con Maradona, con gol, con Maradona, gol!
But his final match was organized by the Argentine national team against the rest of the world team. Even overweight and without any game rhythm, Maradona's genius prevailed, and the superstar managed to deliver some beautiful passes in the midfield. He almost scored a goal after a beautiful shot, and provided an assist for Pablo Aimar to score. And to cap off the celebration, he scored his penalty goal, which wasn't official since it was a friendly, but it remained as the last time the superstar found the back of the net wearing the Argentine jersey. And I think out of all farewells, his was the most special and emotional. Well, at least until this player retires.
Quem vem? Lionel Messi. Perna esquerda!
Si espera el rebote, Acuña va, Leo, le dio Messi.
The superstar began his career at Barcelona as he moved to Spain as a child and went through all the youth categories there. And his first match was truly magical, especially because he entered a game for an incredible Barcelona team with Ronaldinho Gaucho and Eto'o. And it was exactly the wizard who assisted Messi in his debut off a very similar play minutes later. And that's when Messi scored the goal, just the way he planned. Years later, Messi left Barcelona after becoming a legend at the club and went to MLS to end his career. Some say he's practically retired already, while others still dream of the Argentine returning to his homeland. But the fact is, we're witnessing the final moments of the only player who came close to Pelé and Maradona. Up until the time of recording this video, his last game was against a team called Nashville, where he provided that assist to Suarez, and his last goal also came in that match. The question is, how much longer will we have the privilege of watching this legend play?